Is this on?
Certain teeth there.
Yeah.
Just kidding.
I'll give it to Shelby.
They just naturally give it to you first.
I
They
don't
know
know
you're
what
going to
that's
have
about.
all
I
the
guess I'll have the
questions,
question.
the good ones.
All right, Coach. What does it change at all how you prepare for this game? I know double, considering the game was so far before.
Well, I do think that you have to look back at how that game went and see what worked well for you, see what we needed to correct, and then obviously even look at what are they doing now differently, and clearly they're a different team the second time that we play them because Talia Scott's healthy. So we definitely did look at that game, but you really focus on the last couple of games they've played.
And you mentioned Scott. I think y'all said after that game y'all prepared going into that game as if she'd play. So does that help a little bit with this preparation?
For sure, yeah. We definitely were prepared for her to play. And so I think our girls at least, remember what we had said about her, how we wanted to defend her, different looks that we wanted to try to get. So, we're excited that she's healthy because obviously we always want everyone to be healthy in women's basketball, but we think it's a great challenge for us as well.
And then on y'all's side, someone that was available but didn't play a ton in that, Sydney, how nice is it to have her as an extra guard in this one?
It's helpful. It's very helpful to have Sydney, just for our depth, not just this game, but all the games that we've played with her. She certainly helps our rotation out and helps us have some fresher legs and able to give us another defender who also can score. So she's been really, really good for us.
Do you feel like you really know this Baylor team? Because, Little Paige Buggs and Fauntleroy, and they've been around forever, it seems like. We all know what they're going to do, right?
Yeah, well, they're great basketball players. So, yes, we're familiar with their game and we respect them a ton. They're very difficult to defend, but they do have different pieces around them that makes them a little bit different than they have been in the past. But, I'm sure they feel the same way about Bailey.
How do you think your team has changed since you played them on the 21st of December?
I think that we have found some other weapons, if you will. I think we have some other offensive weapons that need to show up for sure tomorrow. I think that we haven't been playing our very best basketball, but I think it's also because of the time of the year and the time of the season and just the wear and tear on your bodies and things like that. But I do think that we're confident in who we are, and I want us to be more about our identity, which is our defensive side of it, than we maybe have been in the last couple of games that we've played.
What would you like to do better over tomorrow versus what you've been doing?
Yeah, well, we've got our pace and tempo just has to be better. We have to be able to share the basketball. We've got to have more than two people step up to score, and so those different options that we were talking about need to be confident in their abilities, and we need to be able to share the basketball so that we're not just stagnant on offense especially. But, we just need to be consistent. Our energy and our effort has to be consistent, and our confidence has to be the same as well.
They did a pretty good job of stopping you guys from the three-point line last time. How do you plan to change that for this next game?
Well, to be honest, and credit them, but we missed a lot of open threes the last time we played. When we went back and watched the film, we felt like we left a lot of points on the table, and it was from missed opportunities that were wide open threes. So obviously we hope we shoot it better. We hope that our kids are confident, and when they do have space, because it is hard to get some space from them, that they knock them down.
And then before Oklahoma State, you said you wanted to try and control the pace of the game. How well do you feel like you guys did that? And then is that something you guys plan to try and work on this time as well?
Yeah, Oklahoma State, I thought the first quarter we had a really good pace about us, and I thought we were scoring it really well, and we pretty much hit a buzzsaw in the second quarter, and that was the difference in the game. I thought the second half we competed and we played pretty well. We won 3 of the 4 quarters. We just let the second quarter get away from us, and it was too big of a hole for us to make a difference at that point. And that's what we talked about a lot in the last couple of days, is just our identity and being who we are. And we were not being disciplined on defense against Oklahoma State, and we were helping off ball side drivers and ball side corners and leaving shooters, and it just wasn't us. And so we talked a lot about that and trying to get back to who we are and playing a complete game.
How is this team different with Talia healthy and playing?
Well, they've got some offensive power, that's for sure. I think Talia makes you have to hug up a little bit more. You can't clog the paint quite as much. You can't overhelp. They score in transition really well with her. Another 3-point threat. she just changes the game. She's a prolific scorer for a reason, and she can really get to the rim. She can shoot the three deep. And so your defense has to focus on her a little bit more. Whereas last time we played them, I think we tried to play really good team defense and tried to help off of whoever might have the basketball. But now, I mean, she really does change the landscape of just what our defense looks like in our game plan.
And not much wiggle room with only 4 games left. You can't understate the importance of this one. I mean, you already have a game in hand against the 3 teams in front of you guys. Mm-hmm. How important is that aspect of this if you want to win a conference title?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, the fact that we're having this conversation is fantastic, right? And we want that pressure. We want that back against the wall, if you will, because we've talked about this a lot, and particularly for these 9 seniors. I mean, it's not like you can say, well, maybe we can try again next year. These 9 seniors have to do it right now. So I think, they're still looking at 1-0. I mean, does it matter what happens in games in the next 3 games if we don't take care of this one? So it really is a great challenge for us. I think they need to enjoy the opportunity to play together again and enjoy the opportunity to play at home against a really good opponent, top 10, top 12 opponent is great for us to be able to have on our home floor. And it's just an opportunity that we need to relish and take advantage of.
Coach, something that stands out is in their 5 losses this season, they've struggled maybe early in the game in the first quarter. I think they've lost all 5 first quarters in the games they've lost this year, and then teams getting out on them in the third quarter too, so both halves starting out well. How important is that going to be to get a win in an environment like tomorrow?
Yeah, I think it's super important just for us as Lady Raiders, it doesn't matter who we're playing, for us to get out to a good start. I think that, and every coach would say that if you can really come out from the tip, it's so much easier to keep it going than it is to try to, to reignite them. And so we definitely want to get off to a good start. I think it's important for our confidence. It's important for just our game plan to be able to stay with them early and to fight, possession by possession.
And then how much do you take away then from the TCU game, them kind of cutting them off early in the first quarter defensively? How much did you guys go through that film and maybe apply some of that stuff heading into this matchup?
We did not watch that film very much at all because it didn't help us very much at all, right? I mean, I think Baylor knows that they didn't play well in that game, and it didn't really show the true Baylor Bears. I mean, we know what they're capable of, and we know how good a team they are. And so, we didn't focus too much on that game. We clearly watched it, but there wasn't a whole lot that we could take from it.
Last one, you've been working hard over the past couple of years to build up the fan base. This is a game right here. You had a great showing for TCU, but another opportunity to bring some fans and keep them coming to these games. How important is it going to be tomorrow just to have that place packed and bring in a huge crowd for tomorrow's game?
Yeah, it doesn't get any better than that. It's a top 20 matchup. On our home floor, there's Big 12 championship implications. There's NCAA tournament implications. This is what we do this for, and I think this is what Lady Raider Nation has been wanting and thriving for. And I hope that they will come. I hope they'll fill it up. Not only selfishly because our girls deserve it, I think, but also it plays a huge role in the outcome of the game. That it gives you that extra momentum, that extra adrenaline that you need, and that extra confidence. But I think Texas Tech is extremely fortunate to have the teams, the athletic teams that they have, the successful teams that they have, and man, I want them to show up for every one of us because I think we all deserve it, and I think that that's what West Texas is all about.
When you look at these teams statistically, all the things are pretty similar, and they both have that defensive mindset. When you're playing teams that are similar in that way, what factors actually end up mattering the most as far as the win?
I think you gotta try the details. Like it goes into the details about where can we. Where is a weakness of theirs, and it's probably very minute. And so can we find one and can we exploit it? It's also one of those things where our mindset has to be that we're going to be in a grinded out battle, because when you have two defensive teams playing, like, it's not going to come easy. You're going to have to grind it out every possession and really fight for extra possessions, if you will. So I think it's one of those things where two really good basketball teams that are competing for positioning in whether that be the tournament, whether that be for the conference championship. I think it's just going to be a great basketball game, a great environment, and it's going to be a lot of fun to be a part of.
And then when teams talk about y'all as a team, a lot of times, I mean, they'll mention some players here or there, but they always talk about the seniors and the elite urgency that this team plays with. What is urgency to you, and like the way that you see it on the floor? We know the why of it because they're seniors, but what are you looking for? What do they display when they're doing it their best that people are seeing?
That's such a good question, because we've actually talked about that in timeouts, if you will. And I really think it's about togetherness, to be honest. I think it's about huddles and them owning the huddles and them talking to each other and demanding excellence out of one another. They all want the same thing, but it really comes down to that extra effort, that extra fight, that extra belief in what they have in one another. And that's the urgency that I see is the huddles, the leadership stepping up, the big plays, that game-changing plays that can occur where it's a charge, a loose ball, an extra rebound, tough free throws. Like, I just feel like that's when you see urgency stepping up with these seniors, is that togetherness that they're playing with, and they're really locked in and fighting for each other. Awesome. Thank you, guys.